Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
General Hospital spoilers reveal that Sonny Corinthos will compass to destroy Jen Sidwell's evidence and end the villain for good. Sonny will make a pledge to Laura Collins as they map, so then's what GH suckers can anticipate during the week of December 8th to 12th. Now that Sidwell has blackmail material he can hold over Sonny and Laura's heads, he's crossing a perilous line. Sonny isn't someone who allows a character like Sidwell to hold all the cards indefinitely. Since Sonny is used to being in charge, he'll clearly work to recapture control of the situation. Of course, that'll be tricky since Sidwell has indicting prints as well as the gun covered in Laura's DNA. Sidwell feels like he's study of everything when it comes to this Professor Henry Hank Dalton setup, but Sonny will be fiercely determined to find a way out of this mess. Sonny formerly told Laura they'd figure it out during their phone discussion, but he'll match with her in person soon to bandy their coming way. Laura will be sorry for dragging Sonny into all this, but he may contend the blame falls solely on Sidwell. Although Sonny and Laura may have to play along with Sidwell's demands for now, Sonny will no doubt start working on a tactic to sink him. Sonny may point out that if they can destroy all the evidence, also they can exclude Sidwell's influence and get out from under his thumb. Cleaner villains aren't always smart enough to keep multiple clones or pieces of indicting substantiation in multiple places, just like we saw with Drew Kane and his own blackmail material. Anyhow, Laura may get Sonny's pledge that they wouldn't have to answer to Sidwell ever. You can go. Sonny will make sure of that, so destroying the evidence may come to precedence. Whether Sonny admits this coming part or not, he'll surely plot Sidwell's grim fate. Sonny preliminarily was against the idea of killing Sidwell unless it was a last resort, but Sidwell has crossed over into fatal target home by now. In the meantime, all the Sidwell fermentation could balloon into far worse drama, so stick with us for updates on any other disquieting news ahead. General Hospital spoilers say Sonny will do everything in his power to outwit Sidwell and prove he's the real king of Port Charles. This is the story of a sacred baptism turning into a battlefield, a moment of peace torn apart by explosive threats, and the long-awaited unmasking of the secret figure who blackmailed both Laura Collins and Sonny Corinthos. Every whispered word, every encouraging speech, every furious threat. All of it leads straight to one shocking reveal. Let's begin. It's a cold, serene morning in Port Charles as the Corinthos family gathers inside Queen of Angels. Sunlight pours through stained glass windows, spreading patches of gold, purple, and blue across the pews. What should have been a peaceful moment instead carries a thick undercurrent of dread. Everyone feels it. Nobody says it. The baptism is supposed to symbolize purity and protection, but the moment the soundtrack of soft hymns drifts through the air, several tension-filled glances dart around the chapel. Sonny stands near the altar, hands clasped behind him. His jaw is tight, eyes sharper than usual. Even though he's dressed respectfully for the occasion, there's something simmering beneath the surface. A storm waiting for the right time to break. Nearby, Laura Collins quietly greets familiar faces, but her smile is tight, forced. She's been carrying the weight of a secret blackmailer for months. Someone who threatened her family and pressed her into keeping quiet. Someone who also dared to blackmail Sonny. She and Sonny haven't said a word to each other about it, but they both know the danger is closing in. The organ swells. The priest steps forward. Everyone rises. The baptism begins. But peace? Not today. The priest's voice echoes peacefully, but beneath the calm ceremony, every character is wrapped in their own storm. Sonny's perspective. Sonny keeps his expression neutral, but his mind works like a machine. Someone dared to blackmail him, someone who somehow found a way past his security, someone who slipped into the shadows of his life and weaponized his vulnerabilities. He's not used to being blindsided, and the idea that the blackmailer might even be in this church right now? That burns. He glances around the room, not suspiciously, but with the quiet precision of a man who knows enemies hide in plain sight. Laura's perspective. Unlike Sonny, Laura's fear is personal. Her family has been targeted before, her husband, her children, her position as mayor. Whoever blackmailed her didn't just want money. They wanted control. They wanted obedience. They wanted leverage. And she gave it to them. She didn't have a choice. Now she stands in church wondering if the stranger might strike again. The choir hums softly, the child's head is gently anointed with water, and applause ripples through the chapel. But several faces freeze when a sudden crash echoes from the back hallway. The sound is faint but sharp enough to twist nerves. No one moves. But everyone feels it. Something is wrong. After the ceremony, the gathering shifts into the reception hall. Soft music plays, Christmas decorations twinkle, and people try to relax. But Sonny and Laura are still haunted. Laura steps near the refreshment table when suddenly Kevin joins her. His smile is warm, his touch gentle. Kevin's encouraging words. "Whatever you're carrying," he whispers, "you don't have to carry it alone." Laura tries to swallow the lump in her throat. She wants to confess everything, the threat, the control, the blackmail that forced her to bury truths she should have spoken aloud. But her promise to protect someone she loves has kept her silent. Kevin presses again. "You showed strength during the ceremony. You show strength every day. When you're ready, whatever the burden is. I'm here." She nods, tears stinging behind her eyes. It's the first time she's heard unconditional support in weeks. Across the room, Sonny receives his own version of encouraging words, but his are far more blunt. Brick's encouragement, Sonny style. Brick pulls Sonny aside. "Boss, your instincts are screaming for a reason," he murmurs. "Someone's playing with fire. And you? You don't let threats breathe." Sonny smirks, darkly. "I plan on choking this one." Brick nods. "That's the Sonny I know. It's encouragement, yes. But encouragement dripping in menace. Peace can't last long in Port Charles." It begins when Ava, ever observant, notices Sonny's tension. She strolls toward him, crossing her arms. "You're wound tight," she remarks. "And when you're wound tight, people end up in the morgue." Sonny narrows his eyes. "This isn't your concern, Ava." "Oh, but it is," she counters coolly. "Because whatever's bothering you is going to bleed all over this town. It always does." Sonny steps closer, lowering his voice to a growl. "Someone went after my family. Someone went after me. When I find them." He doesn't finish. He doesn't need to. His silence is the threat. Ava tilts her head. "That dangerous look in your eye, yeah, I've seen it before. But you might want to tread carefully. You don't know who you're dealing with yet." Laura overhears part of the exchange. Fear grips her chest, not fear of Sonny, but fear of what he might do when the truth comes out. She knows Sonny doesn't believe in soft retaliation. Her hands tremble as she reaches for her phone. She's thinking of calling the one person she shouldn't. But she doesn't get the chance. Just when things begin to calm, a soft buzz cuts through Laura's thoughts. A message. A number she recognizes instantly, the number connecting her to fear. The blackmailer. She freezes. Her stomach drops. The room around her blurs. She opens the message. "Congrats on the baptism. Enjoy the peace while it lasts. We need to talk." Her heartbeat spikes. She scans the room, terrified the sender might be watching. When she spots a figure slipping into a side hallway, she gasps. "Not here," she whispers to herself. "Not today." But she can't avoid it. She follows. At the same moment, Sonny's burner phone vibrates. Only 2 people have that number, and one of them is dead. The message is only 4 words. "Meet me outside. Now." Sonny's pupils narrow. He slips out a side door. The winds whip around them as Sonny steps into the church courtyard, glancing left and right. The snow crunches under his shoes. His breath fogs in the air. He's not alone. A silhouette stands behind the fountain, hooded, still, watching. Sonny moves closer, hand drifting toward his jacket. "Show yourself." The figure doesn't move. Now, Sonny snaps. Inside, Laura turns down another hall, past the choir practice room, toward the lower stairwell. She can feel someone behind her. She feels their breath before she hears their voice. "You shouldn't have ignored me," the whisper hisses. Laura spins, fear flooding her. "Why are you doing this? What do you want from us?" The figure steps out of the shadows. And it hits her. She knows them. Not a stranger. Not an outsider. Someone she trusted. Someone she defended. Someone she believed needed protection. Her entire world tilts. "You," she breathes. "It was you the whole time?" The figure smirks. Meanwhile, Sonny inches closer to the courtyard figure. "Come into the light," Sonny growls. The hood is pulled back. Sonny's face freezes. He inhales sharply. His expression darkens. "You've got to be kidding me." The person staring back at him is the last person he ever suspected. "Why?" Sonny demands. "Why come at me? Why come at Laura? Why stir up this hell?" The figure steps close enough that Sonny can see the bitterness in their eyes. "You created me," they whisper. "You taught me what survival looks like." Sonny's body tenses. That's not an answer. "Oh, but it is," they snap. "You made your choices. I made mine." The next moments unfold with cinematic weight. Laura's reveal. The person standing before her calmly lifts their chin. "This town made me invisible. So I decided to make everyone pay attention." Laura's voice cracks. "You blackmailed me, you blackmailed Sonny, because you wanted attention?" "No," the figure sneers. "I wanted power. I wanted respect. I wanted silence when I needed it, and chaos when I didn't." Laura recoils, tears in her eyes. "You manipulated me. You threatened my family. And I'd do it again." Sonny's reveal, simultaneous scene. Sonny steps closer to his own blackmailer. "You're done," Sonny growls. "You think you can move pieces behind my back? You think you can get away with this?" The blackmailer smirks. "I already did." Sonny shakes with fury. "Not anymore." And then it happens. The blackmailer is the same person. The two scenes collide as the same figure storms out of the hallway door and into the courtyard, exposed, cornered, caught by both Sonny and Laura. Laura's voice is shaky. "This person, this is who blackmailed us both." Sonny steps forward, eyes blazing. "You made a big mistake messing with me." The figure laughs, unhinged, triumphant. "No, Sonny. The mistake was ever thinking you were untouchable. And now the truth spills out like poison. You tore families apart," the blackmailer snarls. "You decided who lived and who died. You walked around this town as a king. I wanted to show everyone that the king bleeds like the rest of us." Sonny grits his teeth. "You put Laura in danger." "I put everyone in danger," the figure snaps. "Because that's the only way to get the power back from people like you." Laura trembles. "You used me. You tricked me into protecting you." The blackmailer shrugs. "You made it easy." Sonny takes a single step forward, danger radiating off him like heat from a furnace. "You're going to regret every one of these choices," he growls. "Because I'm Sonny Corinthos?" "And oh," the blackmailer snaps, stepping back. "You're a man who's about to lose everything." Sonny's voice drops into lethal softness. "You want to see what losing everything looks like? I can show you real fast." Even Laura can feel the danger. "Sonny, stop," she pleads. "We need to handle this legally." Sonny shakes his head. "That's not how this goes." The blackmailer smirks. "You can't kill me. Not today. Not here." As sirens faintly echo in the distance, the blackmailer begins to back away. "You'll hear from me again," they promise. "This isn't over." Sonny lunges forward. But they vanish through the alley gate before he can grab them. Sonny slams his fist against the bricks. Laura sinks to her knees, overwhelmed. The baptism that began in peace has now given birth to a war. Laura whispers, "We're not safe." Sonny turns toward her. "No," he says. "But they aren't either." His voice is cold, deadly, vengeful. And that is where Port Charles stands. A baptism overshadowed by betrayal. A peaceful moment shattered by threats. And a blackmailer who has now transformed into a full-fledged villain. Port Charles is now a battlefield. Laura is shaken. Sonny is furious. And the blackmailer, now unmasked, has vanished into the shadows with a promise to strike again. This isn't the end. This is just the opening chapter of a war that will drag every major GH player into darkness. Stay tuned. Because in the next episodes, nothing is sacred. Not family. Not loyalty. Not even life. General Hospital spoilers slip. Tracy Quartermaine has been hanging on to a secret for months. She was at Drew Kane's house on the night he was shot. We all know that important as she was the bone who set up him and called the paramedics. But what she hasn't participated is that she saw Michael Corinthos there that night. Beforehand in the disquisition, she brazened Michael out of an cornucopia of caution and concern that he may have been the bone who shot Drew, but he claimed he didn't. So, she hasn't brought it up again, and it looks like she believed him. Still, Tracy participating this intel with Brooklyn Quartermaine could leave her granddaughter in a tight spot with husband Harrison Chase, who thinks Michael is shamefaced of not only shooting Drew but framing Willow Tate. Tracy's loose lips could sink this boat. Tracy has been out of city ever since she set up out. She inherited the Quartermaine manse from Monica Quartermaine. We anticipate she's going to be blowing back into city any time now, given that her son, Ned Quartermaine, just suffered a major heart attack and is enduring bypass surgery to save his life. Will Tracy's return to Port Charles dovetail with Alexis Davis's plan to accept Harrison Chase's help in exposing Michael's fake justification? If so, could Tracy end up feeling compelled to tell Brooklyn the verity about seeing Michael at Drew's house the night he was shot? GH spoilers suggest Brooklyn sees Michael in a different light. Just before Ned's heart attack took center stage, Brooklyn and Chase were having it out over Michael and Willow. Chase is firm in his belief that Willow couldn't have and didn't shoot Drew. Likewise, he's enough certain that Michael did and that he's framing his ex-wife for the crime. Learning that he was unofficially probing the case of the timepiece left Brooklyn feeling uneasy about her hubby's amenability to peril his career for his partner. Still, she let it slide. But if she's gearing up to support Michael and go against her hubby, Tracy just might quaint her in to let her know Michael could conceivably be as shamefaced as Chase suspects. Chase is none the wiser. Tracy's intention in participating what she knows with Brooklyn will have little to do with harming Michael. She'd clearly no way wanted to get back to Chase or anyone differently that she can corroborate Michael being at Drew's place that night. Still, therefore, Brooklyn may have the sapience of knowing Chase could be more over target than she's giving him credit for, but she wouldn't have the capability to tell him without conceivably helping to shoot Michael to prison. General Hospital spoilers and updates suggest that we should seriously consider the interesting possibility of Jacinda Bracken's unanticipated gestation. This could potentially lead to a new addition to Michael Corinthos' family. Is it possible that Jacinda is awaiting after the passionate evening she just endured with Michael? Indeed, if she is on birth control, it's not always 100% reliable. Indeed, if we take into account the use of birth control, especially given Jacinda's history profession, it's important to flash back that it's not always 100% dependable. This is particularly true in the world of cleaner operas, where unplanned gravidity are a common circumstance. Some might argue that Michael formerly has enough children, and they would probably have a valid point. Still, it seems that Michael could veritably well follow in the steps of Sonny Corinthos and begin to have multitudinous children with colorful mates. Also, Michael was left agonized when Sasha Gilmore Corbin departed from City alongside Daisy Gilmore. Michael loves Daisy, but she's overseas with her mama and grandparents. Despite Michael's deep affection for Daisy, he's not involved in her life or parenting now that she's so distant. In substance, Michael has 3 children, but Daisy's absence means she doesn't truly count in his day-to-day actuality. Only Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos are present in Michael's everyday life, leaving space for another child to join the family. Still, Jacinda's unanticipated gestation could produce complications for Michael regarding guardianship of Amelia and Wiley. It wouldn't reflect well on Michael to have gotten a prominent companion from Port Charles pregnant. This situation could potentially profit Willow Kane if she successfully clears her name in the Drew Kane shooting case. Willow's determined to fight for the children, but a Jacinda gestation could have advantages for Michael. Willow is determined to fight for Wiley and Amelia, so it'll be intriguing to see how that unfolds. Nevertheless, Jacinda's surprise gestation could give some advantages for Michael in terms of the fabricated justification he's trying to establish. He might work Jacinda's implicit gestation to validate their relationship. This could bolster Michael's justification, at least until Harrison Chase inescapably uncovers that Jacinda was with Ezra Boyle on the night of Drew's firing, which would complicate matters. In any case, the pens of GH could introduce another subcast of chaos if Jacinda turns out to be pregnant with Michael's child. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Michael faces further challenges ahead, so keep an eye out for any significant updates that may be coming soon.